Welcome to the Pursuit Podcast, where we discuss pursuits in business, the outdoors, and life in general. Proudly recorded in the SIP Outdoors studio, I'm your host, Corbin May. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest alone and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Pursuit Properties or SIP Outdoors.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of
Well, welcome, Jordan. Thanks for coming on. Been trying to do this for a long time, so I'm glad you're able to make it on the podcast. And I want to talk a little turkeys today, talk about a bunch of different stuff. But man, just we want to take this time, introduce yourself, let people kind of know who you are, what you do.
Yeah, man. Grateful to be here. Thanks for having me. My name is Jordan Taylor. Love turkey hunting, so it's an addiction for sure.
Yeah.
But blessed
You've
to
got several
to do
addictions.
it. Yeah. This being my favorite of the vices. But
Yep. So where'd you grow up?
Macomb, Mississippi. Yeah.
How long you been hunting turkeys?
Let's see. I didn't shoot my first turkey till I was 11, but my dad would take me and my brothers. I'm one of three. We're triplets, so he would take turns taking us. When we were little, and we'd sit in his lap. I remember the first one that he shot with me. I was sitting in his lap with my BB gun, and he told me if a hen came up, I could shoot it with my BB gun. So I'm thinking, there's going to be a hen. I'm going to shoot it. And we didn't see a hen, but he did call up a longbeard that I never saw until after he shot it. But I remember dancing around that turkey clapping, and oh boy, I was hooked.
It's so funny. Like, I remember going with my dad when I was a kid, and I swear I could never see the turkey.
I was so scared to move.
Yeah.
Because, they're telling you, don't move, don't move.
Yeah.
And most kids, you
Terrified.
tell that, and they're still moving all over the place. I had that BB gun, but I was locked in.
Yeah.
He called this turkey across a river, the Emmett River, back where we hunted, which was a kind of a feat. Those turkeys hang up on water, as you know. And, man, it was just the start of something special.
Yeah. All right. So you grew up in Macomb. I know you've moved around a lot since then. So kind of what just kind of walks through what kind of got you here today. So I know you grew up in Macomb, went to state, then La Tech, playing baseball.
Yeah, I bounced around. I went to Mississippi State out of high school. Just going to do forestry, kind of following Dad's. My dad does forestry and real estate, so ended up wanting to continue playing baseball. Went to Holmes Community College and then Louisiana Tech. Played baseball there for my senior year, graduated. After that, worked in Ruston, Louisiana for a little while, doing surveying, hunting as much as possible.
Yeah.
And then had planned on kind of getting into the real estate business following my dad. Just kind of changed directions and went to physical therapy school instead.
Yeah. So what happened there? So I know we met in PT school, known you a long time, but yeah, we were the old guys in the class. So you're already kind of doing forestry, being out on the land, property, and then boom, you go into PT school. Like what happened there?
Yeah, so I loved the being in the land aspect of what I was doing surveying, but I'd always wanted to just get my real estate license and work with Dad. But when I graduated in 2015, the real estate market wasn't doing so hot. I had a good job offer right out of high school or out of college to make some decent money. So my dad said, hey, go do that, get some experience. You can always get your real estate license, come work with me. And I was getting ready to take my real estate exam, and he got really sick, and just kind of made me reevaluate what would I do if he wasn't here. And so the only other thing I'd ever thought about doing was physical therapy. And Dad, he made a full recovery. He's turkey hunting today. Turkey hunting right now, as a matter of fact. This has been years. So this is 2017, I guess. And I was always injured in sports growing up. Played every sport in high school. Played college baseball, but was hurt. Didn't have a fully healthy career. Really limited. And so I had a big passion for athletics, and then really wanted to get my physical therapy degree to help youth athletes maximize their potential, whether that be they're very talented and can play at a high level, or they just have a kind of a work ethic, kind of like I was, where it's just, I'm going to work harder than anybody else and see where it goes. And I didn't want injuries to be a limitation for athletes like I felt like they were for me. And I think that could be at a root level based on their kind of how they're being trained at a young age, even before high school. But really, when you get into high school, kind of these small Mississippi communities, especially like the strength coaches, they're doing their best, but they may not have the best knowledge. And the same thing with the coaches. They may not have the best knowledge for what a kid needs from a health standpoint, and just longevity in a sport. And so that's what I wanted to do with physical therapy. And I always knew that if I wanted to get back into real estate, I could potentially down the road, but was just really passionate about the opportunities physical therapy might hold. So went into PT school, and the kind of the nuances of that field. You get out and you're like, oh gosh, I need a job, and it's not all it's cracked up to be. But I've been blessed with that. Met my wife when I went back to take classes for PT school. I've got to travel the world or the U.S., not the world, as a travel PT, which I have definitely used to my advantage as a turkey hunter.
Yeah.
Getting to hunt some really cool spots and see some different things that I wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah, you were the only person in our class that was picking jobs based on how good the hunting was in that state.
100%. Yeah. That might have had a little bit of a factor in going back to school. It's like, man, if I go back to school, I get Christmas break to deer hunt. I get spring break to turkey hunt. I mean, little factors of being a student. I mean, shoot, I thought about, hey, I just go back to med school, ride this student thing out for a while. But the debt starts to rack up quick.
It does, man.
And as does the expensive turkey hunting's not getting any cheaper, as I'm sure we may discuss. But so it's been a fun ride so far.
Yeah. So where are you at now?
So my wife and I are living in Ruston, Louisiana. We have a 6-month-old baby girl. Yeah, can't wait to take her hunting one day.
Little Josie.
Yeah, this is the first turkey season.
I still haven't met Josie yet.
Really? Yeah, we'll fix that. But I know our daughters are going to be best friends.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hopefully there'll be some turkey killers.
I hope. But this is the first year that I'm leaving a daughter and a wife at turkey season, and it's definitely different. I mean, already it's. I learned this back during deer season, but just being away from a couple of days, it's like, man, I've never had a problem. I love my wife to death, but I never had a problem going turkey hunting before and being gone. But missing both of them and knowing they're there without me is definitely
you definitely
different.
Everyone says like, oh yeah, your life's. It's like your just priorities change. I know for me, it's like, man, you knew how avid of a duck hunter I was, back in the day. It's like I went twice this past year.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because I didn't have time. It was just, right now I'm trying to, chase a career, and then I'm also raising a family. And it's like, honestly, I'd rather spend time with my wife and my daughter and being there like with her. It's like right now at this stage of my life, it's a lot more important than, chasing ducks and other animals. And you just, I don't know. I think you learn to appreciate it a little bit more too, because now it's more of like a decision that it's like, I'm taking off time to do this, and I'm going to be fully present, when I'm doing it. And I try to do that, like, being at home too. I fail all the time, but it's definitely something that I definitely took it for granted for a long time, just like, oh, just go turkey hunting, like, whenever, and just, stuff can wait. And then especially like when you're a student, you have time off, and, you're just doing as much as you can. But then now, like when you're working and taking those mornings to, just kind of take off, be in the woods. Like we went this morning, and terrible morning. It was windy. For those who are listening, this is March 16th, so we just had a massive cold front come through. 30-mile-an-hour gusts. Temps were real feel in the 20s this morning. It wasn't really ideal for turkeys, but I had one gobbling, and I was just sitting in the woods and just thankful to be there. I'm like, man, with my best friend, sitting in the woods, listening to a turkey gobble, and I'm like, life's good.
Oh yeah, I think mornings like this, sometimes we're a little too optimistic, probably.
Yeah.
But I think probably all your good turkey hunters are.
Yeah.
It's like, man, wind's gonna be blowing 30, and you're listening to those songbirds in the morning. You're like, oh, it's kind of laying down, and then no, it's not. You're just stupid, son. You're just too optimistic.
I know, you're laying in bed the night before. You're like checking the weather. You're like, oh, I bet we'll catch a break in the wind.
We'll see one or something.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Our wives are like, why do y'all do this to yourselves? It's like y'all are literally getting no sleep on your days off.
Yeah.
You know, driving hundreds of miles and then you fail way more than you succeed.
I'd love to know the amount of turkeys I've spooked on days like today, because I'm just like, I'm gonna strike one.
just yow.
Just doing stupid stuff, man.
But you probably learn a lot from that too. I learned something last year, and I mean, I'm assuming anyone probably listening to this has heard Dave Owens, you know, the Pinhoti Project, and I listened to a lot of his stuff, but something that I'd never really done or applied, and I'm sure you have. I'm not claiming to be a great turkey hunter. It's just like the crescendo, like kind of that slow build, like with your calling. I used to just, you know, try to mimic them and just, you know, start hammering everything. There was no like flow to it. And he was talking about, especially when you're walking around like mid morning, you know, it's kind of like that, start that soft call. Cause you talk about how a hen, you know, she's not going to get super vocal unless she has to. And so she'll kind of like, you know, hit a couple of notes and stuff, kind of get a little soft. And then it's kind of like you build up, and that next time she'll listen. And then it's that next time she gets a little bit louder, throws in a couple extra notes. And then that third time, that's when she's like getting down on it. And usually it's because like she should hear a response if there's a gobbler nearby, or the rest of her flock, you know, she's trying to flock back up. And he was talking about that, and it like kind of changed the way I was calling, and I turned out to have a super successful hunt applying that. It was like normally I'd strike and I'm like, I ain't nothing here, just kind of keep moving. Kind of did that slow build, and it was on that second one. You know, I called kind of soft, was listening, built like more, and I was about to hit it for like that third time, get like louder, and pow! Yeah, he fires off and ended up killing a turkey, and I was like, I figured out something.
Yeah. Well, you can't go around blowing their tops off.
No.
I've done that my fair share, especially growing up in the South. You know, we got these nice, pretty pine plantations, little quiet logging roads. You're slipping down them, and if you're just laying it and hammer to it every time, just cutting loud, you know, you might spook one that's just right around the corner. And I've had them gobble close enough that it's like you need to start all these things a little softer. And so just soft calling, making sure one's not close, and then you need to increase the volume if you need to try to, you know, get one a little further. But I think the biggest issue or I guess common mistake, I mean, I've fallen into the trap too, is just doing the same thing. You know, mixing in like soft clucks and then soft calls first if one's close, and then as you're building volume to try to reach out, not just every time you walk 100 yards, or especially if you're sitting and calling, just doing the same notes. I mean, I probably used to do if I'd played it back, I was probably doing the same exact cadence, same exact sequence, you know, pap, 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 7-8 note yelp, whatever, repeat 15 minutes later if I was sitting and walking, probably the same thing. And so definitely starting out softer. So, you know, you want to add more realism, but you also don't want to blow the crap out of a turkey's ears if you're just slipping through the woods and he's 100 yards. But mixing in single note yelps, 3-note yelps, and some clucks and cuts in there instead of just having that repetitive, just just definitely makes it a little more real from what a hen would do and what turkeys hear in their environment. Obviously, if he's 150, 200 yards away and you cut on it, he's probably going to get a reaction if he's in the right mood. So don't always have to be the most realistic caller to kill turkeys, obviously. But we do want to add as much realism as we can.
Going back to knowing when to call, not when to call, and then volume, cadence, mixing it up. A couple of years ago, I started like really hunting by myself. I'd always hunted with my father-in-law, who's a really good turkey hunter, hunted with buddies, good turkey hunters. And, I was kind of like, I could call, but I was like, I'm going to go kill some solo birds. And it's hard, but then, cause like every decision's on you, like, do I get up and walk? Do I sit right here? Cause I can't tell you how many times where it's like, I'd stand up, bird bust, and he was like right there, like 40 yards. I'm like, oh my God, and just like, learning all those things, but then just like even like calling and questioning yourself, am I calling too much? Am I not calling enough? Like I had a problem on a property that's just loaded with turkeys, and I'd have them roosted. You know, I'm 125, 150 yards from them, and you know, getting them fired up and just calling, and what I realized, so as soon as they'd hit the ground, they'd shut up, and I was like, what's going on? Well, me getting that turkey that fired up, I was seeing hens passing me. And so all these hens are going to him because he's getting so vocal that he's calling all the hens to him. And now he sees them, flies right down to him, hits the ground, shuts up. And I'm like, now I'm sitting over here like an idiot. I'm like, oh, what about me? And so kind of changing that strategy is like, I'm going to find out that he's there, and then if I know that it's still early in the season, they're still kind of flocked up, it's like back off a little bit. I don't want him getting. It's fun though to listen to him sound off 50 times on a tree, but it was one of those things I had to learn. It was like, hey, you're doing yourself a disservice if you're on a property with a bunch of turkeys, and especially if they're still henned up, and he's just sounding off from the treetops, calling all those hens into him. And now it's like, you're just basically calling in the competition, with those live hens. And so I was kind of like just doing enough, and my success rate started going up, but every, that's why I love turkeys, man. It's like every property's different.
Yeah. Every situation is definitely different. Yeah. And I tend to probably overcall, as people would say, but,
well, you've killed a lot of turkeys. So
as you get the reps, right, you do this more and more and more each encounter, and you're learning from it. And I mess up, so much. I'm like, well, I learned something new. And then next year, I'm like, learn something new. I mean, by now I've said that enough times. I'm like, God, there can't be much left for me to booger up and learn, but still is. But just the dynamics of each turkey, henned up turkeys early season, right? They're going to get with hens. Maybe they'll give you a gobble every so often. A lot of times they don't. A lot of times those hens will, when I was little, I like to call. So people would tell me, call in that lead hen, piss her off, and see if they'll come in. I don't know if I've ever called up a turkey by pissing off the lead hen. Now, I've called turkeys, gobblers, away from a flock of hens for some odd reason. Don't know why they'd leave them, but ticking hens off never seems to like really work for me. So now I've called up flocks of turkeys, like hens and gobblers, but it wasn't by me getting real aggressive. Caught up a lot of solo hens by being real aggressive and matching what she's doing with a loud mouth hen. But seems like early season's tough, and overcalling probably bites me in the butt often. And so I try to give them as much as I'll need. If you can find them alone early season, it's not much. It's not much different. You don't have to give them a lot then to really get them. It seems like later in the season, so you get one fired up, maybe he's been hunted or something, and he's real fired up. To your point about him gobbling a bunch and hens going to him, later in the season when those hens are nesting, sometimes if you lay off him a little bit, he's going to get uninterested and drift back off. And if you just keep at him, he finally has enough and breaks. So that's what's so fun about turkey hunting. If there was one magic recipe, we'd be sitting here with a couple turkeys on this windy day, or it'd be, it's 3 days in the season and I don't have a turkey. We'd be tagged out by now, right? Yeah. I mean, if there was one magic recipe, but it's all different and all situational dependent. And the more you do it, the more you get out there and mess up. You start to take the temperature of that turkey in that situation, and it really is like you're having a conversation with that turkey. It's just like, I'm not going to yell at you right here, sitting right here across from me. If I don't have to yell at him, I'm not gonna yell at him. If I can just say, "Hey, big boy, party's over here. I got something cooking you're gonna want to see." He'll come on over. You don't have to get angry at him. Yeah. But it just depends on the situation, and like I said, that's what makes it so much fun and so different. I mean, gosh, it's the best. And I was blessed at a young age to be around some really good turkey hunters. My dad and his buddies. I was
going to ask you about that. So who was, like, obviously you hunted with your dad. Was there some other people that you kind of molded you, kind of guided you along the way? Like, who were some of those major influential people in your early career?
Yeah, there were several. So being a triplet, like I said, my youth weekend, my dad would get two of his friends, and the third would kind of change, but the one that was always there and was kind of like another father figure to us. His name was Alney Cook. He passed away a couple years ago, but he called up the first turkey for, I think, both of my brothers. I had already killed one. I know at least one of them. I know my brother Nathan killed his first deer with him. He was just always, and he was involved in so many kids' lives in the Liberty, Mississippi area growing up. But then a couple other dad's buddies, Wayne Smith. I know I killed a really good turkey. I killed a couple turkeys with him. He also made me shoot at a turkey that was too far, and I told him it was too far. No, I need to kill that turkey. And it was too far, and I did not kill the turkey. He probably swears to this day the turkey wasn't too far. But Chad Lindsay, another one I remember being a youth, and he used one of those old Morgan collars, tube calls. He sounded a little bit better on it than I sounded on that little tube call this morning in the wind. But I remember he called up a turkey with that. I thought that was so cool. I went and bought a Morgan collar after that. But all these are just good turkey hunters. But Mr. Alney was just, gosh, I mean, so influential in my brothers and I's lives and hunting. I mean, I'm getting choked up just thinking about him. I mean, he was special. Yeah, there's not a day goes by that I don't think of turkeys and think of him, really. I mean, literally not a day. And especially when I'm in the turkey woods, though, like, I mean, I feel like I have conversations with the Lord, you know, just throughout my day and stuff. But when I'm in the woods, I'm talking with him too. And it's special. Every time I remember after he passed, it just seemed like it was a special turkey season. Just, you know, having some success that didn't think you should have had or could have had. And it's just like, man, like, thanks for that one, AC. Like, I did something stupid and still killed the turkey. Yeah, I mean, there was one that after the turkey season after he passed, there was it was a flock of turkeys early season like we are now. And they were in kind of a field, but there was like a hedgerow of cedars in between me and them that was on a little ditch. And it's kind of split, field on my side, that little ditch of trees, field on the other side, and turkeys are in that other side. And I'd heard a hen yelp, and this is kind of late morning, and slipped down there to him. And turkey never gobbled. It's early season. I knew there was a gobbler in there, and I'd call him back and forth with this hen. And to my point about she wasn't getting all crazy. I wasn't getting crazy. We're just having a conversation like we are now, talking back and forth, a lot of soft stuff. I'm just kind of like a content hen over here. She's a content hen over there. And I think I might have heard a turkey gobble. One might have gobbled, but I knew there was a turkey in there. And I was just about getting ready to crawl across my portion of the field and get through that, because that little ditch where those trees was real thick. I was like, man, I can get to that ditch and I can work my way through there and I can kill this turkey. I can hear them drumming over there. They're probably 100 yards. And I was probably 5 yards in the wood line on mine, tucked up under a cedar with some real low limbs. And I crawl out to the edge, and I'm like, man, that sounds like he's getting closer, like the drumming. And the hen yelped, and I was like, I think the whole flock's kind of drifting this way. And I'm sitting there, I'm trying to think, do I go across this field? Do I not go across this field? And I was like, I'm just going to back up. I turn around and back up. I no sooner sit down, and a turkey pops up out of the thing, just a long beard right there. And I got my gun on the ground. I just moved like a miracle. He didn't see me. And I go to shoot, and I hadn't even, this is a mid-morning hunt. I'd unloaded my gun from the first hunt. I had to shuck the shell. This gobbler's running. And he's probably a little far, thank goodness for TSS. I try to shoot him close. I don't use decoys, and I like the whole hunting experience. And I usually am in woods, and I'm out in the field, and this sucker's done seen me, and he's running the other way, and I shot at him, right decision or not. And luckily, it got him. Yeah. And I was just like, man, thank you, AC. Like he's up there laughing his butt off, I can promise you.
Oh, man. It works out sometimes, man. I had a situation kind of similar last year. I was hunting with a buddy, and we had him gobbling, and I knew where he was. I'd been on this property several times, and I was like, okay, we can work this old logging road, kind of circle back to him. We'll be on the high point, and we'll get to this high point, we'll call, and then I said, man, we can ease down that road, because I was pretty sure he was in a food plot, and it sounded like he was by himself. And so we get to the corner, call. Pow. He sounds like he's probably 150, 200 yards from us. And I was like, hey, like the way the kind of trail led, I was like, let's get to that corner and like sit down. And because I was trying to get my buddy a turkey. And I was like, let's get to this corner and sit down. And hopefully we'll come up that ridge, and that logging road and went right down to that food plot. We literally were walking down, and that turkey was sprinting up the road. So we get around the corner, and he is 30 yards in front of us. So like we had both split the distance like on each other, and he's just sprinting, beard swinging. I freak out, throw my gun off my shoulder. I was like, Warren, shoot. And he's still got his gun strapped across his chest. I just had it on the one shoulder, slung it off. Boom, shoot him. He flies up in a tree. Boom, shoot him again. Dropped him. But it was like, how did that just happen? I've never been that lucky in my life to like run up on a turkey and then still kill him. But it's just like, sometimes it just happens. But it was one of those situations where it's like, you idiot. Like he just hammered right there. I mean, he's 150, 200 yards and you're uphill from him, plenty of coverage. Like, sit your butt down and just let him come on. But I was like, oh no, let's get you this corner and cut the distance, And it's just like, thankfully it worked out. But yeah, it's just sometimes it's just, you just never know.
Yeah, sometimes you get away with it. Most times you don't.
I know. Normally I've been like, take it off. I'm like,
yeah, I've done it, no doubt. Man. That's good stuff. Yeah, I think back to the people that influenced us growing up. Those memories, just looking back on them in my mind, just talking about it. Kids don't forget that.
Yeah,
I know I didn't forget any of those guys that took me hunting. And I try to take a kid every year. I was bummed this year. I was going to take some, and they couldn't go, just other obligations. And it's so much fun taking them, and especially kind of the way that just with social media and different things, and just the turkey hunting world right now, it's a lot about me, and man, I think it's very important to pass that on. I mean, to kids, obviously, but even buddies who hadn't. I mean, people, it's such a special thing. I don't want to gatekeep it. I want the right people in it. I want them doing it the right way. But man, I just know my memories as a kid from those guys sacrificing their time, their weekends to come take me and my brothers. It'll be always something I hold dear and don't forget. So
yeah, and
I think that's important.
I think you mentioned it too. It's just like everything we've talked about so far. Like the kill has been like a minuscule part of it. It's just like the whole experience, the woods, the calling, like listening and like figuring out these birds. And I feel like with social media, and it's all about clicks and likes and doing it. People literally every year getting busted for trespassing, hunting over bait. And it's like, they're doing it just to kill a turkey. So they can post a picture with it. And they're like, look at me, Billy Bob Badass with my, turkey and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like,
they're missing the bigger picture.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's my thing, is because obviously to each their own, however, like you want to hunt, you go like right ahead. But for me, like I'm never going to trespass on another landowner's property for anything, but like to go over there and kill a bird and then also like hunting over bait just to kill it. It's like, man, it just doesn't sit right, man. It's not the way I was brought up to hunt. And to me, it just takes it away. Cause I'm like, if I knew like, oh, I've got a feeder out here, trail camera, they're coming in here every day. I just go sit down and wait for them, boom, kill them. I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like I hate deer hunting a turkey on a terrible day. Like I hate it. Like I've made myself sit on spot. I don't think I've ever killed a turkey doing it. But
I'm sure people do. But
I know people do.
I don't sit there long enough to find out.
Yeah, I like chasing them, but sometimes depending on your property and stuff, you might have to wait. You know, and you might have to sit down and be patient. And it's hard. It is hard to be patient. Especially if you're on a property that you don't, you can't. Kind of run and gun. Yeah. You kind of have to be patient. But still, it's just, it teaches you something too, and it's just not about that instant gratification.
Yeah.
And that's why like turkey hunting is so rewarding, because you do fail way more than you're successful, and the patience, and there's just so many things that obviously was taught to you like as a kid that you're carrying now that you want to pass on. That to me is like that's going to preserve the integrity of the sport and the tradition, and makes people want to invest in like the land too.
Yeah.
Because like we're both stewards of properties, and like we love working on a property to create better habitat. And that's like for people that are like non-hunters, look at hunters as like, oh, y'all just killing animals. Like hunters are the greatest conservationists in the entire country. There's not another group of people that spends more time, money, and effort into habitat, which preserves wildlife long term, than hunters.
Yeah.
And so much of that time, and it's like, man, like we do this because like we love it, and we want to be able to see our kids and our grandkids be able to enjoy this. And that's why like you got guys that were like, Fox Hayes and Tom Kelly, and like these guys that are just pioneers in the industry, and like, they probably, Mr. Hayes would roll over his grave knowing someone's on their corn chops, instead of like putting in the time and effort into a property, burn-in, timber management, and figuring out where they are. And just, I just would wish more, especially young kids these days, could see the value in that. And it's not about the content. And I'm a content creator. I love filming. I love taking pictures, and like, you best believe, like I love good content, but I'm never going to sacrifice everything else.
There's nothing wrong with being happy about killing a turkey and posting a pic.
Absolutely
I usually I post a pic or two, and then I usually get so busy that that's about as many as I get. But
and there's celebrate that. Like, man, people made fun of me for like one of the first turkeys I killed, because they said it looked like I had my senior photo shoot with it, because I took probably 50 photos.
Well, hey, now having a daughter, it's like I want her. I think that there's probably a bad side to social media. Obviously, we're being a little hard on it and touching on some of those right now, but it's also like you can use that as a way for your children to see, like you can make videos that they can look back on. I wish I had films and took more pictures, and maybe post more pictures to my Instagram of the turkeys that I'm killing with a story or something. Cause I'm not technologically savvy. I lost my phone skiing last year, lost all my pictures from the last couple of years. And heck, I've only posted a couple of them. So I lost all those. Those memories are in here, but I don't have them. And so something AC, always did was he had picture books of all his turkeys. I'd sit on his couch in his house and just flip through those picture books. And so I've got all these picture books of my pictures. Well, now these phones come out, I'll save pictures up for a couple of years, and then I'm like, oh man, I need to get these developed. And so I think you can use it in a cool way to, that can be a catalog. I still like the hand.
Yeah, that was something I remember coming down to your camp for the first time, and y'all had that book, just deer and turkeys, squirrels and stuff, and just they'll print out photos and having like a little note on them with like the date and everything. And
I need to get better at the date and stuff of those pictures, because AC would do that on some of his, but I want to start journaling, like just sit down and write, put pen to paper, and then maybe put that on like Substack or some kind of app where it's there. Like my daughter can read it one day. It's not going to be because if I leave it on my notepad, I'm going to lose it. Yeah. So I think that you can use technology in a good way. But I think just people need to remember, like what you said about hunters being conservationists, like this is a limited resource. It may seem like it's not a limited resource, but you drive through Kansas on your way to go hunt somewhere and tell me how many turkeys you're seeing. Like, it's not like it used to be. You go hunt Missouri and some of these places, and I mean, turkeys are struggling across the landscape, and that's a lot of areas, that's habitat change, particularly in the South. And there's people a lot smarter than me that talk about this. Dr. Chamberlain being one that's just everything I listen to, it's like, oh, that makes a ton of sense. That makes a ton of sense.
He's the guy out of Florida.
Wild Turkey Doc. No, he's around here. Louisiana, Mississippi.
Dr. Chamberlain. That's for some reason I thought he was out of Florida.
I think he's around here, but I don't know exactly. I just listened to a lot of his stuff, and it's good stuff. But I think
if you're listening to this, we'd love to have you on.
Hey, do your plugs, baby. Get those people.
Get those plugs in.
You'd be a lot better off than talking to me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I'd love to do something like that. But
I do think that people forget that it isn't like they could get a disease tomorrow, and or you could shoot them all and they're gone. Like, but just killing them and moving on, just trying to get that picture, or just trying to check off a state and move to the next one. Nothing wrong with hunting turkeys in cool places.
Yeah.
I'm all for it, but slow down, soak it up, enjoy it, and then be, like you said, just be a steward of it. Do it the right way, and don't just try to rush. Because I'm bad about rushing too. I'll be, like I said, I took jobs so I could hunt unique places in different areas that I hunt. I want my season to last as long. So we close here in May. You got to go somewhere, and it's becoming just, it's just getting really popular now to do the traveling turkey hunter thing. But if you're just rushing and you're trying to move on to the next spot, and you're just missing a little bit, and or if you're doing things the wrong way just to check off state, or if you're shooting them out the truck window. And I mean, if you can think of something about how people can kill a turkey the wrong way, and I've seen it, like with my own two eyes, just hunting, like riding around, I'll see there's a turkey flopping right off the road on private land. There's public near us. That truck has Illinois plates. I'm in Nebraska or something. And it's like, or man, I've seen two guys behind each decoy, two decoys walking out in the field on private land, their truck parked, trying to shoot turkeys and shoot them. And it's like, they can get out, and within seconds, they've either killed that turkey or that turkey's run off, and they're back in the truck gone. And that's why, I mean, I'm no turkey biologist. I think habitat's the number one reason why turkeys are declining, and there's other factors. But you drive through some of these open states, like I said, Kansas, just for instance, because Kansas is kind of that central spot from the south if you're going anywhere else. And these open landscapes, you're not just seeing gobblers out there strutting, as like I'm not, maybe in other areas of Kansas, but the kind of the routes I've taken and hunting it, like you don't see them as much. And I think there's a lot of poaching going on in places. I mean, I've hunted 2 mornings. This morning was windy. Saturday morning had a poacher come in. And it's like that was, private land. And it's just that I've turkey hunted that property since I was 11. And it's just, people have, they're doing it for the wrong reasons, or they wouldn't be poaching. Yeah. You don't love the turkey enough that you're going to shoot one out the window or go do. That's not love of the turkey. That's love of the kill, or the thrill. I mean, us sitting, whether it's public land, private land, you're sitting under a tree in the morning listening to songbirds, Lord willing, listening to a turkey gobble. I mean, you're blessed to be there. Soak it in. And then, traveling, getting more opportunities in more states, still do it the right way. I mean, that's, you're getting an opportunity. You're going to interact with other hunters, That's just, it just irks me when, specifically with turkeys, but I mean, everything we do, right? I think Jesus laid down a good framework for how we're supposed to treat people and do things. And, we should apply that to all aspects of our life, not just turkey hunting for sure. I know I need it, but man, they're special, and they're a limited resource. It's not an endless supply. You can't go whack and stack them, throw the thunder chickens in the truck bed and hit the next state. Like your quality of your hunt your enjoyment of the hunt is gonna go down, and we enjoyed the heck out of this morning. We didn't kill a turkey. We heard turkey gobble. We're like, yes, it's a hurricane out here.
Made it worth that drive on Haley's birthday. Huh?
I'm talking about that.
But it's another point too, is because of the rise of popularity and social media and guide services, that's automatic pressure on those people. Like, think about it. If you're an influencer and you're job is to pretty much produce content. And if you're struggling, it might be really easy to go shoot that neighbor's turkey.
Yeah.
You know, or
you see influencers get in trouble for that. And there's
I know there's an article almost, I swear, every week now, busted, or outfitters or guides that it's like there's monetary, you know, backing to this, and like there's pressure, and there's also so like it's not. I don't sometimes think it's just about, oh, look at me. It's like, man, I've got a financial incentive to like produce.
Yeah.
And it's like, gets a little easier for some folks to just be like, you know what, he won't notice if I step across this line, go kill a turkey in that field and be back real quick. And it's just like,
it's tough. I mean, I'm turkey gobbling over there, and there's nothing over here. Oh, I want to go.
Oh,
you know, like it's
the turkey this morning.
Yeah,
he was 300 yards across the property line, and we're just like, hopefully
we can make him gobble and have fun, but he wasn't.
Yeah, we're like, hopefully he'll work
leaving
his
his
way
party.
this way, and it's just like, I'm not about to just.
But there's plenty of poachers, you know, that they don't have social media. They just do it for the thrill, baby.
that's a different breed of
That's
folks.
a different
too.
breed.
Yeah.
And that, hey, there's more than you think.
Oh
Yeah.
There's
I mean,
it
I've
brings
seen-
out the outlaws as a folks
we
for
have
sure.
the, you know, I can say it because there's a billion people hunting anyway. Well, I hunt in the home and shit a lot, you know, and I mean, I've been set up on a turkey, you know, and then he's gobbled a couple of times. It's dark, boom, and then you hear.
Like 50 pounds of potatoes.
That sucker's got that turkey and he's gone before I could, you know, I'll get up there and get to him. But that's only happened to me once, but that has happened.
Yeah.
And shoot, I'm sure that's happened to more people than me.
Absolutely.
But I mean, you just got to do it the right way. I'm so thankful for just the opportunity to hunt turkeys and man, it's such a blessing to have. I mean, we have the right to bear arms. We have the right to chase these things. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And a lot of places don't have that. And it's a crazy world. So these something that makes us as happy as this, I just wish people wouldn't abuse it.
Yeah.
You know?
And I see the passion when you're talking about this stuff too. And kind of bringing back to something you mentioned earlier about, you know, like the chasing 48, or is it chasing 49? Yeah, chasing 49. You know, there's a lot of people that do that. You're one of the few people that I know that you have no interest in doing that, but you've killed turkeys in probably the most days of anyone I know, but that's not your goal, you know. Where are you with that? We talked about this.
I think that it probably, back when it started, was real turkey hunters wanting to experience hunting them in different places. And before Onyx, and they're pulling out, they're getting National Forest Service maps, they're getting state maps, they're having to do a lot of research. I mean, you go to do it now, it's so easy, but it still takes time and effort to figure out where am I going to go hunt public land. Like, and then if you read any forum, it's like, oh, there's a billion people and no turkeys. And it's just, I think it has become something that it was not intended to be. And it's now just check a box. And not to say the people that do that don't love it any less than me. They probably love it. And especially, I'm sure.
You're just saying that that's kind of like
for me.
I'm
a competitive person. It would quickly turn into me checking a box. And even if I'm not going to fan a turkey, I'm not going to shoot a turkey off the limb, I'm not going to do the wrong things. And I would still be like, oh, I need to kill here so I can go here. I've only got a week. I needed to go boom, 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 boom. Instead of, hey, I got a week. I'm going to start here, and then we'll see what happens. And if I don't get one, I don't get one, but I want to see what this country looks like too.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go hunt that kind of terrain.
How many states have you killed in?
I don't know. I could add it up, but I don't,
20?
Ish. Yeah. I don't. Last year I got to hunt an area of the country I've never gotten to hunt before. And I won't say where it was or anything, but it was unreal, just the different, and there was a ton of turkey hunters from all over the U.S. and every one of them I talked to said, oh, I'm chasing 49. And I'm a talkative person. I'll talk to anybody. Yeah. So that's a lot of folks. And nothing wrong with that. But I feel like the reason for me that I'm turkey hunting is because I love turkey hunting. I'm not chasing 40. I'm not trying to kill in all 49 states. So that's why I'm here turkey hunting.
So you can say that you.
I'm here turkey hunting because there's gobbling turkeys. I'll do that anywhere somebody says I can go.
Yeah.
Legally, and I'm gonna go back to if that was so much fun, I'll go back one day. And I'm, there's states closer to home that I go camp out and hunt them, and the hunts have gotten progressively harder. And then some years you'll just be like, oh man, turkeys did real good 2 years ago because these 2-year-olds are ripping, and you rip a couple of them and everything's right in the world. Yeah. But I don't know. I just feel like I want the people that are doing it not to be just checking a box and moving on, because that's what it would become for me, and why I'm not interested. Nothing wrong with it. Yeah. For those that want to do it, but it's also just there's a little monetization of it, and there's just people pushing it as as like it's this end all be all, and it's like, man, hunt turkeys in your backyard and enjoy it and do it right and just soak it in. Mm-hmm. And if you want to go hunt them in cool places, go hunt them in cool places. I'll be doing it, and if that's a new state, and at some point I'm, got a whole bunch more states than I do now, that's fine by me. Yeah. But,
so you have hunted all over. I know every kind of turkey species is different. What would you say is the most difficult turkey to kill?
Man. You come home on a Homachita National Forest turkey with me, hey, that's some tough ones.
Yeah.
Gosh, and every time, it seems like I'm all of my blunders, it's like I'll work this turkey in the National Forest, I'll do everything right, and then I'll screw it up.
I remember you had a turkey over there. You hunted him for, I don't know how you know it was the same turkey, but you're telling me you've been hunting him for like a couple of years.
He wasn't a Homachita turkey.
Okay.
No. I don't know how you tell it was the same one in the Homachita, but no, that's a funny story. I guess we got all the time in the world. I'll tell that story. There's this turkey. It was the same place the trespasser came in.
Okay.
It's not a big piece of property. My dad's friend owned it at one point, and got to hunt it since I was like 11. Killed my first turkey on the lease next to it. So his friend, this property is why I'm the turkey hunter I am now. I guess we had the small piece of private and then the lease all around it, which was a big chunk of acreage that we had sold turkey hunting rights to for my whole childhood. We didn't lose that turkey hunting rights to that place until, gosh, I was out of high school maybe. But it was just some phenomenal turkey hunt for Mississippi. But anyway, this one property, it had a turkey on it that he would gobble his brains out the first year I hunted him. And I may have hunted him the year before. I don't know. This is just when I could tell it was the same turkey. He'd roost in same couple locations, general area, same area. And but he would gobble and gobble and gobble and gobble, and then you'd yelp at him, he'd shut up. And you'd sit there for 30 minutes, and then he'd gobble again. He'd be in the exact same spot. He never went anywhere, but he's just gobbling. And if you didn't call, he'd start gobbling again. He'd gobble and gobble and gobble, and then I'd be like, I've moved a little bit. I'm going to try him again. Shut up. I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to have to crawl him. And open hardwood, and that never worked out. So the first year I hunted him, that's how he would act. And there was other turkeys on the property, and so you just be like, all right, I'm not even messing with him today. Well, the next year, he acted a little bit different, but you could tell it was the same turkey. He'd gobble and gobble and gobble, and then you yelp at him, he'd shut up. But he would gobble less, but you could tell it was the same turkey. And then the following year, he wouldn't really gobble on the limb, but he would gobble on the ground. Same thing, called at him, shut up. And so he'd been the only turkey on this property. This was the last day of the season. 2 years ago, I think, my wife and I had been working in South Carolina, and I'd come back, and we were about to go to our next spot, and I just had a little while to hunt him, and literally I think this is the last day of the season, or maybe this was before we went to South Carolina. Either way, drive all the way down from where I live in Ruston, Louisiana, and first turkey that gobbles is close to where he'd been roosting, and he's just ripping on the limb this year, or at this morning, and I'm like, that's got to be him. I mean, just gobbling his brains off. And I'm like, all right, I'm not going to call to him. And so he was on the edge of a cutover. So I go up to where, and he's in a vicinity of where he'd been roosting, but he never roosted here before. So I'm just assuming it's the same turkey because my dad had been hunting him. And I never called to this turkey. And it's late in the season. I got close. And there's nowhere for him to go. He's going to fly down right in front of me. I'm 60 yards from him. And on the other side of him is a clear cut. And never yelp at the turkey, never tree yelp, cluck, nothing. I'm thinking he's going to pitch down right here. I'm going to kill this old sucker. I'm going to have some hooks. Well, that turkey, the whole time, and then later in the morning, I start hearing a turkey gobble, and I'm like, man, I wonder if that's the turkey that I'm trying to hunt. And about that time, this one flies plumb across that clear cut, out of my life. 500 yards flies across this clear cut. And I never called to the turkey. And
you think he saw you?
No. Oh, no. No, there was nothing for him to come this way, so he went that way into a big creek bottom on the neighbor's land. And
it's an old smart turkey.
Huh? No. I think this was a young dumb turkey, and I never even called to him because the other turkey was the turkey that
you think that was the old one?
Oh yeah. So I realize when I go to this turkey that the turkey that I just sat up on all morning and never yelped to was a different turkey that I could have probably just clucked it one time and would have flown down in my lap and killed him. So I got down to this creek bottom where this turkey, he's back where he'd been roosting 2 years prior this morning. And he's gobbling good. I yelp at him, he shuts up. I was like, gosh dang it, this is the turkey. I should have called that one. And so I know I messed up, but I'm like, all right, I'm just going to sit here. 10 minutes goes by. He starts gobbling again. Crow flies over. So I get a little closer, and just the way the landscape worked there, I'm in a creek bottom that kind of feeds up to him, but he's above me. But there's a big roll, and I can tell he's on the other side of that roll, and there's a road that works from a smaller food plot to a bigger food plot that's up on top of the ridge. And so I get as close as I can. I'm about 60, and he's gobbling, and I'm like, I'm just gonna barely soft stuff. I'm just gonna do something. I'm the closest I've been to him because I've never even, years before when I tried, I've never gotten that close to him. And I just really softly, just maybe a single note yelp, a soft cluck, couple yelps, a little whine, purr, something. Shut up. And I was like, all right, this ain't gonna happen. I'm not gonna be able to call to him again. 10 minutes goes by. Pow. He gobbles. And then I'm close enough I can hear him drumming. And when I called, he quit drumming for that whole 10 minutes or so. And so I'm like, man, did he go away? What did he do? Well, when he gobbled, he starts drumming again. So it's like he calms himself down. I don't know. Weird turkey. And so there's a specific kind of hump, just a mound on the side of this road. Like I said, he's either in the road or just on the other side of the road in that creek bottom. And I'm on this side of the road in the creek bottom, kind of working uphill. And so I'm crawling, and I get to from just me to that wall behind you, from that mound. I'm 5, 6 yards from it. And I can hear him drumming, and I'm guessing by his drumming, he's 30 from me. He's just directly behind that. Well, about that time, I hear, and this hen starts putting at me, but she's not running. She just, and she walks all the way down this road, and I can see 70 yards to that food plot that's down in the bottom. Mm-hmm. And this logging road goes right to that food plot. And she just putts, and she keeps putting and putts, and she never stops putting. She never runs. She putts all the way to that food plot and then goes into the woods. And I was thinking, oh, I'm screwed as soon as she started putting, but she just kept putting. And I don't know if she thought I was something, a turkey. I don't know. I don't know why she didn't get off, but it was just like, it wasn't that crazy alarm putt, but it was a putt, and she just putting and walking. I don't know if I've ever seen another hen do that like that, but I'm thinking, oh, he's going to follow her, and I'm going to shoot him right here. And so this mound's here. I'm thinking, it's perfect. I'm right-handed. I'm going to shoot him walking down this road at 20 yards. And I can hear him drumming, and then it kind of quits when she did all that putting. But I'm like, I know this turkey is right here. And I can see across the road up the side of this hill. I just can't see anything to my right, except then I've got like a little bitty gap where I can see the road up the hill, but there's road that I can't see just right over the crest. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right, it's probably 10 minutes goes by, and maybe less, but felt like an eternity. And I'm like, I'm just gonna really softly just clucking wine or something, scratching leaves. And I do it, and about that time, and that joker pops out from around that tree at like 5 yards, like right there on the top of that hump. And my gun's pointed left, thinking he's going left. And he was in, I'll never forget, he was like, he drums and he's breaking like strut as he comes around the tree with his head. And I hadn't even moved yet. I'm right here. And I'm like, oh goodness, before I can even do this and shoot him, he was gone. I mean, he 360'd and there's a little roll in there. And when he came across that road, he was in air within seconds. I mean, done. That was the last day of the season. I had just driven 2.5 hours, woke up, driven 2.5 hours to get to daylight, hunted a turkey that I could have clucked at one time probably and killed, and then had the turkey that I've been hunting for 3 years at 5 yards and didn't kill him. And that's something that cracks me up about if you've ever hunted, like your father-in-law or old timer or something. You spook a turkey and they'll be like, well, let's just give it a while.
Yeah.
I spook a turkey, I'm back at the truck. There ain't no maybe he'll come back.
Yeah.
Or let's go the direction he went and just give it a while. I'm like, I mean, not always, depending on the situation.
Yeah.
I could tell my friend a funny story, different story. I could tell stories for hours. But called up a turkey twice for him. He missed it. We didn't leave. Turkey started gobbling, called up again. He missed it again.
2-year-old probably.
Yeah, he was a 2-year-old. We ended up killing him a week later. But no, I mean that.
Yeah, I mean, I personally haven't, but I've seen it and heard stories like, group of 2-year-olds come in, shoot one out of it, and they might freak out and then call other ones come back.
Yeah, they'll come back and fight a flopping turkey.
Oh, yeah, that happens. But no, I'm with you. It's like usually I'll booger it up. It's like, well, right down the head to the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roger will be like, I'll just give him a minute.
That's my dad. Oh. He can
maybe
walk.
Used to be like that or something. I don't know, but like Roger be like, "Oh, you give him about 45 minutes an hour, and you just ease back over here, and he'll fire back up."
Maybe that's something I got from AC because I'd miss a turkey with him. He'd get up and start walking back to the truck. He's like, dang it, boy! I missed several turkeys with that man.
Oh man,
he took a picture of me one time. Checked me out of school. Good dads and stuff do take their kids turkey hunting. And I was in 6th grade, and I missed the turkey. He made me take a picture. His cousin was my teacher. He made me take a picture of my empty shell, and I'm a 6th grader. I'm crying. I missed the turkey. That's a funny story too. This turkey, he calls this turkey up, and this turkey is 20 yards right in our lap, and I'm sitting in his lap, but he's tall. I'm a 6th grader, so he's up higher on the tree, and his head's a little to my right, so he's got a good view of the turkey. I got a pine tree between me and the turkey, but every time this turkey gobbles, his head comes out, and I've got like turkey fever over here. I'm like, oh gosh, I can't take this. This thing is just 20 yards ripping, and AC's like, kill the turkey, boy. What are you doing? Kill him. He thinks I can see him, and I can't see him, and his head's coming out, and finally I was like, all right, when he sticks his head out, I'm gonna shoot him. Man, that turkey half gobbled on me, and I missed him. He didn't half gobble. They don't do that. I sure missed him. So don't try to time up a gobble like that.
Oh,
that's
man.
what I thought. I said, he half gobbled on me. Something like that.
On
Yeah, he made me take a picture with the shell and give it to my teacher.
Oh man, did you miss more after that?
Turkeys?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, I've missed a bunch of turkeys. Man, it cracks me up when people say, I've never missed a turkey. I'm like, you ain't done it long enough.
You ain't done it long enough.
I tell you what, though, these red dots, you want to get into technology, something I'm a fan of.
Yeah.
I know a turkey I killed last year, I wouldn't have even shot at if I didn't have a red dot. And it was just, if I'd have been down on a bead, it was so thick that the bead would have been covering up the only color I could see. With that red dot, you got both eyes open, you're putting the dot on them. I mean, I think that's a game changer. I try to tell everybody to get a red dot and put it on a gun. You'll miss less turkeys.
Especially for kids.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, throw that red dot on there. And get
I'm a fan. I've been trying to get my dad to do it
fast fire
this year. Yeah. And he got him a new 20 gauge, and my brother works for Southern Ag Credit, so he goes to a lot of these banquets, wins some guns and stuff. And my dad had one. He traded in for a 20 gauge.
Southern Ag Credit.
Yeah. Nathan Taylor. If y'all need any land deals, he can finance it for you. Call him.
There you go.
I wish I could get a commission, but turkey hunting rights work.
Yeah, we just need Southern Ag to send us some more free swag. That's what we
I just need more people to give me turkey hunt permission.
Yeah.
Whatever I can do for that. Got realtor buddies, got land buddies, got financing buddies. I just need turkey hunting rights, okay?
Yeah.
But a lot of people think they're pests.
Oh, so this is I actually killed my first turkey in New Zealand. I was 10 years old. My dad was working over there, and they are pests. Like, there's no limit on them. You can shoot them with whatever you have. But my dad was working there and became friends with the farmer. And he had all these turkeys. And my dad, being from Mississippi, he's like, "Can we go hunt these turkeys?" And the guy was like, "Absolutely." He's like, "I will give you the guns and the shells, everything you need." So it was me, my brother, my dad, and this guy. I wish I could remember his name, but it's like wide open pasture, sheep and stuff. Because what happens, they'll roost on the watering trough, like for the sheep, and like poop in their water, and they get disease and stuff, and it's bad for the sheep. So they literally will poison them. Apparently the locals they'll roost on like the fences and stuff because there's not a lot of trees in certain areas, and they'll sneak up to them at night and like chop their heads off with machetes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So like there's no limit on them. They're everywhere. But I remember we were going turkey hunting, and my brother had the shotgun. I had a 22. Like those like the two guns this New Zealand Kiwi guy had. I think my brother's probably shooting like maybe, I don't know if he had buckshot or like, just some light loads or something. And we were herding them. He had an old Land Rover Defender, so you kind of drive around the countryside and all right, there's the flock of turkeys, and then you're trying to figure out how we're going to get down and kill them. And my dad, he can call with his mouth. Like, he didn't have any turkey calls with him, so he, but they're in a flock of like 50. So they're not leaving the flock. That's kind of their safety, and then it's just a big old herd of them. But yeah, he got, all 10, 15 gobblers in that group just firing off. And so they're kind of working their way. They're like, all right, we're going to work our way to this ridge and crawl up over this ridge, and hopefully they'll be working on it and just pop up over and just jump shoot them. And so my brother, he had a shotgun. He pops up. He shoots two in one shot. Two turkeys flying. Well, one goes to fly off, and I took that 22 and pow, whack. So like hitting like a, boom. I shot that turkey, pow, whack, again. Shot him 7 times with that 22. Killed him. My dad's got a video of me running. I'm shooting. It was some good shooting for a 10-year-old with a 22 shooting a turkey flying, and then he kept getting further and further. I'm just put that bead on, pow, whack, and shot him 7 times before he died. I remember I was so happy. I threw that turkey on my shoulder, and I'm like running back with him across the field. We got a picture with like 3 big old gobblers. That's what it's like. I don't really count it. Yeah. It's like, oh, well, it was my first turkey, but it is not like real turkey hunting. But
I bet I had a buddy that wants to go to New Zealand. Those are Rios, I believe.
So I think so.
They've transplanted there.
Yeah, I can't remember.
If they were Easterns, I'd find out how much money it'd cost to transport them from there to Mississippi. Keep these numbers rolling.
Yeah, keep these numbers rolling. No, I do think that they are Rios or maybe Miriam. I can't remember.
I think they're Rios.
They are Rios. But yeah, we were in the North Island.
My dad just got back from New Zealand.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. He missed opening day of turkey season.
That's first time ever?
No, since we were born.
Yeah, okay.
Well, no, the year he was sick. He was sick. And
but he almost missed y'all's birth, correct?
No, we were born in October.
True? Oh, okay.
But it was just that first year he couldn't go turkey hunting because
was he your sister or something? Sister. Maybe that's okay. That's why he just couldn't go. Just at home with the kids.
He went and got
freaking triplets.
He went and got a video, like Primo's, one of those old Primo's videos or something. And watched turkey hunting in the house. Since he couldn't go, yeah. But he's only missed, I guess this would be his third, and he's 69. And he killed his first turkey, I believe, when he was 15. And he's been doing it ever since. So,
50-something years.
He's after him right now, still. But yeah,
New Zealand is incredible. I think it's changed dramatically since I was there. Like I said, that was over 20 years ago.
I'd have to know I love killing turkeys, but I wouldn't want to just go and mow down a bunch of turkeys.
Depending on where you're at in the state, like just where we were at, it was just wide open, just grazing sheep pastures and stuff too. Just
I guess
have
it
a lot
helps.
of turkeys and stuff.
I guess it still helps. It's like in Alaska where my brother lives. Like when we go on hunts there, it's like I don't really want to kill a brown bear. I'm not going to eat it.
Yeah.
And it's like their problem. They're a predator, so that's different. But I guess if the turkeys are still causing
they're a
diseases,
nuisance,
they need to be killed.
There's no predators in New Zealand, so there's nothing to kill them. There's not coyote. There's not even like a bird. Like the only thing that's going to kill them is like disease.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with like rabbits. There's no limit on rabbits. Like you can spotlight them at night.
I wonder if
my dad said New Zealand's a redneck's paradise.
I wonder if they eat them up there. Because I mean,
in New Zealand,
if they got that many turkeys, they shouldn't be hungry.
I'm sure you should. But so I don't know about turkeys, but they put out a lot of poison for stuff for all these nuisances. Because I know you can't eat the rabbits because you see signs. Like there's literally like government signs posted in all these like habitat areas and stuff too, and it has like these the death symbol, and it's like poison is like here.
I love rabbit.
Too. So no, you can't eat them because they're that much of a nuisance. And once again, if you don't have hunters, you don't have predators, and you're going to have population issues.
Yeah, and then if you can't eat it, it feels wrong. Just taking the life of something, then can't do nothing with it.
Yeah, but then it's an island.
Yeah,
so it's like the ecosystem. It has to be
like
controlled.
The axis deer in Hawaii, and there's so many of them.
Yeah, that's something
I'd love
to do.
Golly,
I've heard they're so fast.
Yeah, well, I'll bring 24 arrows, 3 dozen if I have
That's
to.
what apparently like.
I want to do that.
Just be prepared to miss.
There's a couple hunts that I'm not going to sacrifice spring turkey hunting. I would just have to make room for both.
Yeah.
But I would take some time off to go do that. That axis.
I had a buddy who did it
hunt.
a couple years ago who said it was incredible, and he stayed at like the Four Seasons resort. So he's like brought his wife, and literally it's so weird. They like stay in the Four Seasons, and then you walk out and you're going axis deer hunting with like your bow and stuff. He's like walking back to the hotel lobby with all your camo on and stuff too. But yeah, that'd be.
Well, we need to do a family trip with that.
Yeah, that would be.
Bring the babies, bring the wives, and
yeah. Well, I'm going to make a lot more money before I swing that Hawaii axis trip.
Too much money. You talk about money. These turkey tags. These days, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, we're going.
We're
going to Texas in a few weeks. Going out there, but Texas is not too bad. I think it's around $300-400 for your license, but you get 4.
Missouri went up and down. They cut her down to 1, but. Like we said, they're a limited resource. Yeah. States are going to it's going to come at the expense of something.
Yeah.
Tags.
And that's something Mississippi did this year too, is like out-of-state hunters can't hunt till later in the year, and then they have like the limited draw opportunities and stuff.
I've got a hot take for Mississippi.
Let's hear it.
Mississippi needs to move their turkey season back a week.
So you're talking about open a week later?
Yeah.
And go into first week of May?
I am all for like opportunity. But, the only other season open right now is South Florida. If there's a good reason why Mississippi should be open, I will change my stance. But South Florida, I think Hawaii's open, and Mississippi. Louisiana doesn't open until April 3rd. Alabama doesn't open until next weekend. Georgia doesn't open until next weekend. Why is Mississippi open?
The birds be gobbling.
They're gobbling. Mississippi be taking that non-resident license money is what they want.
I don't think they can hunt.
They can hunt. They can hunt public land with a permit now, but there's, how many permits are there that they're turning loose? I think Mississippi does a really good job with turkeys. I'm just curious as to why. What's the biologist's reason for Mississippi? What's our population? With the breeding cycle,
but you're not saying like shorten the season. You're just saying move it back a week.
Well, I mean, the end of April is they're pretty much toast.
Yeah, like so that's my thing too. Is because I've had some
good hunts on the last day of the season, but I love hunting them. I'm glad I'm turkey hunting right now, so I'm happy it's open. It's open. I'm going to keep hunting. I'm a little curious. We complain about the pressure, so then we do these non-resident public land permits and tell people they can't hunt the public land unless you drew a permit. I'm not a huge fan of that. I mean, if they're going to pay a license, I think, if the season's open and we got the turkeys for the season to be open, you should let them hunt. but I'm just curious as to why the season's open a week earlier when the biologists in Georgia and Alabama are the state who controls it. I don't know. I'm not smart enough for this, but I do think that it's odd that the only other place you can hunt turkeys right now is Florida and Hawaii and Mississippi.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you complain about, and I've complained about it, the non-resident pressure in your own state opening week. I mean, I've hunted the Homachita and seen 20, not 20. I think the most I counted was 2 or 3 years ago, 15 different state tags.
So I was going to ask you something. So I know you're you're a Mississippian. I know you live in Louisiana now, but like you've got a lifetime license.
I've got lifetime license.
Okay. Yeah. So that doesn't like go away or anything. You moved in. So your dad got you that when you were.
Oh, I got me that.
Oh, you got you that.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay. I thought
yeah.
that was something your dad did for you when you were younger.
Oh, no.
So
My
that's
brothers
something
don't have it, but one of them lives in Alaska.
Okay.
Which he should have, because I bought it whenever I was like, our family has land in Mississippi, but I was going to move. So I was like, I need to get this because it's expensive. I mean, it's paid for itself now. I mean, a non-resident turkey hunting license in Mississippi, you're $400 in. And then you're told you can't hunt public land unless you got that permit. One of my best friends who forgot to put in for the draw, but it's like, I didn't get a permit. And I don't know how many of those they have. It's hard. I don't know if I've even heard of somebody not getting drawn for that. Well,
I've seen a lot of forums this year, out-of-staters that got drawn and then didn't buy the permit within the allocated time. Like apparently you only had so much time to basically like claim it and pay for it. And so a lot of people are like, I've got an out-of-state license and I got drawn I had a permit, but I didn't buy it.
I wonder if that's one of the WMAs or something, because I think the non-resident, the public land permit is, I don't think it costs anything. I think you just got to put in for it. I could be wrong because I didn't have to do it. But.
Or maybe it's like claiming it. Like I saw multiple
maybe you had to claim it.
Forums or they like I didn't buy it like in time. So I think the out-of-staters still had to like purchase it. And so they're all like messaging in these Mississippi Turkey Hunter Facebook groups trying to like find private land to like hunt.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, I'll trade you a hunt here. I saw one guy was like posting pictures of freaking giant whitetail in Ohio, and he was like, I'll trade a turkey hunt. You come up here and in Ohio and bow hunt. And I was like, and he had like flooded with messages.
Oh man, I bet. So, I'm just curious as to why Mississippi opens a week earlier we're here turkey hunting right now. Like I said, I love it. And I mean, I would be sad if it moved back a week.
Yeah. But
it's never made sense to me. And then as pressure started getting more,
I see what you're saying is that like, why are we one of the only states that's open? But like,
well, early in the season, right now, this is their peak breeding. So if we moved it back, there's going to be more hens or more gobblers that maybe don't get shot that are successfully breeding turkeys. Because if you listen to some of Dr. Chamberlain's stuff, there's not all the male turkeys and adult male turkeys are fertilizing clutches of eggs. If their testosterone's low from getting whipped, it's your more dominant main birds that are kind of breeding all the hens. And so if you kill that turkey opening weekend, it may kind of run a little course there where another turkey's kind of establishing dominance and starts breeding the hens. But it's just interesting, and a lot, like I've been, my dad kind of, when I was growing up, like there's a strutter and a looker, like shoot the looker, because the strutter's the more dominant gobbling, doing all the gobbling and stuff, and he'll go back and keep breeding hens, etc. But you're kind of shooting that subordinate bird, I guess, not as much affecting the flock, so to speak. But I am just curious would it benefit Mississippi turkey flocks and numbers to move it back a week? How much more, nests would that? I don't know the data. I don't know the numbers. I just think it's interesting, and I would just like a biologist perspective, like a state biologist or something. I would like, what's with Mississippi other than money of why you open a week before Alabama and Georgia. And then if it's not money, I want to know the reason. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
But if it is money and you're getting these guys to pay $400 from out of state, don't tell them they can't hunt public land.
Yeah. Me personally, for out of state, to me shocking that they get the same amount of tags. I
don't hate that. I think if you pay that money,
well, dude,
and we have the turkey numbers,
but all the other states you don't. Get the same
I don't agree with that all the time.
Resident. But like my thing is like, so I'll hunt out west and deer hunt, and non-residents you get like one tag, and then you hunt all over, turkeys. You might like Missouri, you're going to get one tag, correct?
Yeah, they just switched to that.
So
That might be a statewide. I think that might be a statewide thing. I'm not sure.
but
May not be. Maybe non-resident.
But my thing is, I'm all for bringing in people to hunt. It's a form of tourism, brings money to the state, but it's a limited resource. And my thing is, if you're giving out-of-staters 3 tags, kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier in the podcast, is there's incentive to punch those tags.
Yeah.
And if
Well, I
you're
think
bringing a
that's
trip
where
down
if you
here-
started the same weekend, I mean, right now the only show in town is Mississippi. So
Yeah.
you got people from everywhere. That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. If you moved it back and you got Alabama and Georgia,
saying it would
you got
spread
options.
out
It would spread people across the South
that are
for
willing to-
non-resident hunters.
Yeah.
And then maybe then you wouldn't have to say, oh, you have to draw this permit also for you to hunt public land. Because, I mean, a lot of non-resident hunters, they're coming to hunt public land, especially like, I mean, there's nothing like we kind of picked on earlier. There's nothing wrong with chasing 49 or whatever. And so if people are trying to do that and then they're told they can't hunt public land because they didn't get a permit, I don't know. I think if they backed it up a week, I would hate it from the hunting standpoint. I want to be hunting, but I would probably like it from the result of the experience on public lands. But maybe not. I just would love if anybody knows, they can reach out. Why do we open a week sooner?
Like I said, I think that'd be great.
Or why? Hey,
Conversation
better
for
question.
politics.
Louisiana. Hey, what are you doing? Why do we open April 3rd? Turkeys are ripping over there right now.
Yeah.
And so if it's because
that's like, so that doesn't make sense to me. It's like you've got bordering states that literally open 2.5, 3 weeks apart.
And hey, it's coming hunting here today and living in Louisiana. Spring is a week ahead over there than it is here.
Really?
For sure. I mean, way greener, way greener. I mean, dogwoods are losing their petals. And I mean, it's an early spring for sure, but it's sooner.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because Louisiana turkey numbers are lower, so they want to make sure those gobblers have that breeding cycle early in the season to, breed a bunch of hens.
What is Arkansas? When does Arkansas open?
Arkansas is even after Louisiana. Really? Arkansas is like April 11th or something crazy. It's late and it's only like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
what's
it's
crazy
different.
about
There's
Arkansas,
state to
man.
state.
It's like, because you literally got portions of it that's like level with, Greenville, and then goes all the way up into, like Oklahoma, Missouri, like up into like the other mountains. It's like totally different topography, like regions, like, those birds probably up in the northwest part of the state, they're not even thinking about breeding right now. You know, it's like, but you've probably got birds in southeast Arkansas that are already, breeding hens, getting, but that state's not going to open until, August 11th, you said. So it's like
something it's later.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it's just because I don't know. I don't have the answer.
We want to go turkey hunt. We might need to wrap this thing up.
So, yeah, man, it's already 5 o'clock. Jeez, we've already been doing this for
We could
getting
talk
close
I
to
could
an hour
talk
and a
turkeys
half.
forever,
Yeah, dude.
especially if you start getting me fired up about some of these states and tangents and stuff. But
Well, dude, man, I really appreciate you coming on. It's been fun. It's been fantastic. I know. Look forward to hunting with you a lot, and could have got to our little Alaska trip we got coming up, but we
have to do something on
might have
that.
to save that one for another time. But man,
no
dude,
turkeys in Alaska, but there's a lot of fun to be had.
So that's the one state.
That's the one state with no turkeys. They got everything else.
What if we transplant some to Kodiak Island?
They'd get eaten by grizzly bear.
Well, hey, I enjoyed it. Appreciate
All
you,
right, man.